Om Sri Sai Ram. My humble and loving pranams at the lotus feet of Swami, revered Sri Nimis Pandya, Sri Ramesh, elders, and my brothers and sisters. I am grateful to Swami and all of you for this opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you at this blessed place, Dharmakshetra. Last 2 days I have been here and been basking in the vibration of this place. Just sitting in Satyadeep, just felt like being with him. Few months back, Siddharth had approached me asking me that I should speak. I was just thinking, should I say yes? What should I speak? Then I was reminded of a day in the ashram. It was Dasahara time. Before Dasahara, Swami would be identifying the speakers who would be speaking, the teachers and the students. Those days where you find the Mahasamadhi now used to be the place where the students used to sit, and there used to be a Ganesha statue there. And my duty entitled me to sit near a pillar there. As he was speaking and identifying who all would be speaking on various days, I was just thinking, will I be able to speak sometime? Just a flashing thought. And as he finished that and he was coming back, he looks at me and says in Telugu, "Nu matladtava?" When Swami asks such questions, always found it wise to give a gap before we respond. And he himself says, "Baane matladtavle, you'll speak well." When I was reminded of this, I felt yes, I can share some of my thoughts with you all. The name of this session is Samarpan. I thought, let me share with you the joy and bliss of Samarpan. What is Samarpan? The way that I have understood Samarpan as. Samarpan is offering or surrender. And it is something which is total. Adha nahi hota. You don't keep something back and then give. It is total body, mind and spirit. And I think each one of us, he has created so that we become an offering at his lotus feet. And he makes us go through the process so that we become the best. Sometimes I just wonder at our simple lack of faith in him. For example, if we, as Swami says, we go to a barber, we don't hesitate to give our head, the most precious part of our body, for him to trim and do whatever he wants. But when we have to give our mind, thoughts and body to him, we start thinking, we start doubting. Sometimes that just gives, wow, what a fool I am. When the Lord of the universe is with me, ready to improve me, ready to guide me, why am I hesitating? Well, he knows our weakness, he knows our follies, and that's why He has His infinite divine patience, I would say, as He guides us in the path towards Him. As I look back or understand, how do we say that we accept Him, or that we make ourselves an offering to Him? Every moment in the life, we are constantly accepting whatever He decides and constantly listening to whatever He is trying to say to us. And every time we think of doing any activity, we keep questioning, will Swami like this or not? These are the tools, I would say, which we use to make ourselves an offering to Him. Like simple things, when we want to listen to Him, because as He says, He is always with us, He is within us, around us, and if we wish to listen to Him, we should have no background noise. If there is a background noise, or we have already some thoughts, something always happening, we are not listening to Him. Because only when there is space in the vessel will something be held. If it is already full of things, you cannot hold something. Just a simple incident comes to my mind. Those days when we were doing the veranda duty, it was Sivaratri evening, and the bhajans would start at around 6 o'clock, and the primary school children would come by 3:30 or 4, because Swami used to come very early for darshan. Swami completed the darshan and went inside the interview room, called few devotees. Around 5:30, Swami came out, and Swami's interview room, once he comes out, towards the left is the place where the primary school children sit. When Swami went that side, usually if you see, they have already been sitting there for 1.5 hours, and many of them are drowsy, somebody is sleeping. As soon as Swami comes, everybody is alert. And He is the Divine Mother, He knows. When he reaches the point where the primary school children are sitting, and He indicates towards me and a brother of mine, something like this. Anytime Swami, well, I'll just give you a small background. When we are serving Him, 99.99% the communication is non-verbal. So, if we have to listen to Him or fulfill His instructions, we have to be really alert, and as I said, we should be blank. So when He says this anytime, any other time, it would mean to get the vibhuti bag, because He usually would indicate that, and we get the bag and He would give to the devotees vibhuti packets. But that day the context was different, because we were seeing the children who are drowsy, and we knew that there were some sweets kept in the room. So my colleague brother went in to get the vibhuti bag. As normal, his indication that meant. Something struck me. I said, no, that's not the thing. As he was coming out of the interview room, the brother went into the interview room to get the vibhuti bag. I rushed. I stopped him. I said, let's get the sweets. When we took the sweets, Swami was very happy and distributed the sweets. If he had taken the vibhuti bags, we would have got some prasadam. So what I mean to say is, if we have to be blank to listen to Him. Because many times people have questioned me, Swami ने तो कुछ बोला नहीं, आपको कैसे समझ में आ गया? He gives. He always gives some instruction. There is some movement, there will be some movement of his hand or some movement of his eye. It may be a nano mm or whatever it is. Such a small gesture, but if you are alert, if you are present, you get it. That's, and this is something which I felt is one of the important things when we think of Samarpan. Am I ready to listen to him all the while? As we become more alert, he starts giving us more and more directions. I think he would enjoy that. He would enjoy giving us directions. And we will enjoy that life, because every incident or everything that we do becomes an offering to him, and it becomes a joy of living with God. Of course, for us to get to that stage, we need to have that strong faith and conviction. We need to have that deep love for him. When we say he is God, well, when we were small, you don't know what's the definition of God. Sab bolta hai God, God. Then somebody explained God is one who is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent. So I think I am just standing here and sharing, but I am sure each one of us here has the same experiences of experiencing his power or his omniscience. Maybe we were fortunate to be in the physical presence, so we got instances where physically he did a small gesture or a small thing which just reflected that. I'll narrate a small anecdote in my life. Whenever Swami had given this opportunity of doing the veranda duty, that means that before Swami comes for darshan, we see that everybody is seated properly. We see that the interview room where Swami calls the guests to interact with is proper. And when Swami is about to come, we give indication for the darshan music to start, things like that. Those are our duties. And that's the time when Swami announced that he agreed to the proposal of conducting a mass Upanayanam. It was in the year 2000, February. And we are three brothers, as he mentioned, and we had not got our Upanayanam done. And the rules said that it will be done only for the students who are studying. So out of three of us, only younger brother was studying then in the college. So he was only eligible. So he had given his name. Usually you don't do for the younger one until the elders' Upanayanam is done. But then it's a chance of a lifetime. So we said, you please go ahead. See, since I was in the duty, it is not right that we ask Swami that, because for that day you will be out of duty. Said, no, we will not be asking that. So since my younger brother had given his name, parents were coming. The day my parents were to reach Parthi, the train usually reaches around 8:30 in the morning. Those days, Swami would finish his darshan and call people for interview. And the interviews used to get over around 8:15, 8:30, and then that's the time Swami would come out to take another round. Those are the most beautiful, blissful moments of darshan, I would say, because the whole mandir would be silent. There would be pin drop silence, and you see Swami gracefully walking around. And he gracefully comes out, comes to where I am sitting, and he says, is your Upanayanam done? I said, no, Swami. Only younger brother has given his name. So you go and give your and elder brother's name. I was just shocked. I didn't ask I had not mentioned it to see when we are physically nearby, we always feel that we should. हमने कुछ बोला भी नहीं, didn't ask anything, and his words should be very. I don't know. With me, it is always to be very brief and to the point. He would come, he would tell, and then he'll move back. Job is done. And so I went out and made a call to the warden sir because he was the one who was taking the name. He said Swami had told him the previous evening not to add any more names. He said, anyway, since Swami has told you, I will check with him and I will surely add. Just to, when I went out of Mandir, I met my parents and then I realized that my mother was praying all the way that 3 of us Upanayam should be done. So he knows किसको कब क्या करना है उनको मालूम है. Another, he does the small things to give us a confirmation that he knows everything. He is there to look after us in every possible way. Another day, it was, my brother was not well. He was going through a bad phase in his health. And I was just thinking, should I ask Swami? Usually I hesitate to ask because he gives you such instances where he says, I know things. You just don't need to tell me. So that day, sometimes when it becomes a little more, Swami, should I ask? No, we are in the process of evolution, I would say. So I was just thinking, then, we have this method of postal sadhana, write a small slip. If Swami comes, I will give. And then that day, as soon as he sees me, he calls me. He says, don't worry, he'll be fine. That's it. So I would say he's just preparing me. You just don't have to tell me. I know it. Of course, when I look back at my life, the way he has prepared me, when I see it, it gives such a different meaning. Because first time I saw Swami was in 1984 when the International Bal Vikas Rally was there. And I think love for Swami started since then. Every vacation, the urge was to go to Parthi. 1984 darshan, I remember, those days there used to be sand, and I think Swami had given us Pad Namaskar thrice in 2 days, and we had collected lot of sand, and when we returned home our bags were full of sand because after every Pad Namaskar collect all the sand and put it in the bag. And after that, somehow that connect for Swami grew. I would say a large role for it was played by the Bal Vikas Gurus. Once you have God as your friend, you start sharing everything with him. I remember sometimes when, must be in my school days, I had some problem or something, take a small postcard and write and put it in the post box. Somebody had got a calendar from Puttaparthi that had some address of Parthi, some shop and Puttaparthi village, place and pin code. When it comes to your friendship with God, you're very private. You don't want to share with anyone. So anytime you had an issue, write a small letter and put it in the post box with a stamp. It will go. And once that love for Swami grew, always had that urge that I should go to Parthi and study there. Tried after my 10th standard to join for the 11th class. Sent the application, money for the application never came. Then I called them. I said, I have sent you money, please send the form. They said, we have already sent you, but I have not received it. I will send by telegram another time, please. And no, we can't send you again. So my attempt of joining in 11th was closed with that. Well, you feel down that Swami has not taken you near. But then today when I see, I feel, yes, whatever he did was good for me. But when we go through the process, it is painful. I would have spent few days feeling very depressed and sad about it. But then I was studying, I would say by Swami's grace, studying well, was the topper in the school. Then everybody was saying, who is this boy? Oh, he's a Sai devotee, goes to Bal Vikas. Then people start recognizing Swami and Bal Vikas. I felt happy about that. After 12th, I thought I'll come for degree. Similar thing happened. The day the entrance exam was, we had the engineering entrance falling on the same date. We coming from a family where my father had to struggle for his education, he had a desire that one of his children should do engineering. And I was thinking whether I should write the entrance exam or go to Puttaparthi. It took me a while, but then I thought, let me fulfill his wish. He never expressed it to me directly, but I knew that this is something which he had in his mind. Because of his financial condition, he couldn't pursue his studies. I said, fine, let me go for the engineering. Of course, when we are in Bal Vikas, the values that go into us is be good. That's all. अच्छा बनना है. Never thought के ऊपर top होना है, IIT जाना है या medical. Nothing. Those days, I don't know, present generation also, I think engineering and medical still remains to be the fad. I would say it that way. Everybody was asking which college, where you want to go. But back of the mind, always we should अच्छा बनना है, बस. So I had written all the entrance exams starting from engineering to medical and got in IIT and then this regional engineering college. Keeping the long story short, once I joined engineering college, again that depression came in. Swami, you're delaying my going to Parthi. I just wanted to go to Parthi, and again it is, you have pushed it. And those days, this engineering colleges had this very bad thing of ragging. And that's the time you remember God more. I used to be wondering, Swami, what's happening? And then one fine day when I was just walking in the campus, going from my hostel to the gate of the college, I hear Swami's bhajans coming from one house. It is like fish getting water. I just walked in. And that happened to be the day when the bhajan mandali was being inaugurated there. To put it shortly, those 4 years, every evening I was there. And by the time I was in the final year, there were at least 8 to 10 boys who were coming to that place. Few of them out of devotion for Swami, few of them wondering what is this guy doing here. यहाँ आके बैठ के सब करता है, उधर टॉपर होता है, पढ़ाई नहीं करता है. Well, whatever it is, as Swami says, he gives us the butter and stick approach. He knows how to get each one of us to him. I know sometimes we keep praying Swami, we keep offering things to Swami, but in our minds, sometimes that little ego keeps coming. When I finished my engineering, I had applied for MBA at Parthi. I cleared the written test and the group discussion was over. In the interview, Professor Hanmantappa was the Vice Chancellor then. So he said, is your final exam over? I said, no, sir. Because those days it had got delayed because of Mandal Commission. He said, then we can't take you. I just came out of the interview room. First thought which came to my mind, I'll go and join the job. Subsequently, I realized कि मन में हो गया है कि हमको I have got a gold medal, I am the topper in the class. If you don't give me this, I will go there. धीरे धीरे understanding, I got the realization, what is this? See, like when it is another instance where Swami was showing the ego inside you has come up. My reaction should have been, let me still pray to Swami, kuch ho jayega, maybe I will join this year itself. But that was not the first thought. Why I am saying is, this is the way he makes us grow or go through the process of internal cleansing, I would say. So, the next year, I left the job in February end. I said, I am going for the Parthi. I will go straight 1 month, prepare and write the entrance and then go. Then join. That's it. Usually people don't leave their job. They said, when we get the seat, we will leave the job. I said, nothing doing. Now I think he has given me enough indications, enough test. Now I will go. So next year I did that and then joined. The 2 years of education in Swami's University, I would say, was blissful. And subsequent to that, he blessed with the opportunity to serve in his institution. And one fine day, we are told about this duty in the mandir. I remember those days, Mr. Chiranjeev Rao used to be in charge, and he calls me and Nitin Acharya, your Mumbai, and tells me tomorrow morning you will be doing this duty. We were, I would say, shocked. When the Lord of the universe, I would say, when he gives, he pours. It's like that. And you are not ready to take the pour, I would say. The whole night, both of us didn't get sleep. If I'm not clear to people who have who are new to the thing, I'll just explain. In the veranda, there are 2 pillars where we need to be seated to do the duty whenever Swami comes. So we were supposed to do that duty from next day. We really tensed. And Chiranjeev Rao sir told us in the evening around 7 p.m. And we had no chance to check with Swami. And next he said, next morning you should be seated there. And that was our tension. Swami ने सही में बोला है या नहीं बोला है, चिरंजीव राव जो क्या बोल रहे हैं, सवेरे जाके आके बैठ जाएंगे स्वामी आने से. You don't know. And it was also that Swami was speaking to us, like, not that he was speaking to me every day, but once in a while something he would say, he could have told directly. Why he has to, mind is mind. It will go on playing all sorts of things. कुछ तो बोलना चाहिए स्वामी को हमें. So the next morning we get ready and go and sit there. When he comes for darshan, he is also normal, as if kuch nahi hua hai. Our hearts are beating fast. So he completes the round from the gent side. He materialized vibhuti for a devotee. I took courage and offered the handkerchief. He took the handkerchief very readily. Then my heartbeat became normal. Then on, of course, the service at his physical presence started. When I look back, इतना साल हमको पीछे पुश किया आने नहीं दिया, जब बुलाया भर के दिया। स्वामी के पास क्या बोलते हैं, भगवान के पास देर है अंधेर नहीं। I don't feel it is there, it is the right time. He gives you everything at the right time, and for you to receive that, he prepares you. When you go through that process, you realize the value. Otherwise, if you have not gone through that process, sometimes we miss to realize, and that leads to repentance subsequently. So, if he is passing us through a crucible, it is for our own good. Because as I have seen him, for him the most important thing is our spiritual growth. He would do anything for it. For him, these big institutions, colleges, hospitals just don't matter. What matters is our growth. He would sacrifice anything for it. I feel these institutions are created as a means for our spiritual growth. What he is interested is only that. जैसे बोलते हैं कि भगवान आते हैं to spend time with his devotees, and everything else comes as a byproduct. It's like that. Otherwise, normally बोलेंगे वो भगवान came and built all this. Being with him at close proximity, never felt that he felt those things were so big or anything. वो सब उनके लिए कभी बड़ा ही नहीं था. What was big for him were his students and his devotees. How each one became better, become nearer to him. When I was with him, as I remember coming back to the concept of Samarpan, I had heard from few people that if you offer a tulsi leaf at the Lord's feet, it's a very good symbol of offering yourself at his lotus feet. So I was thinking, we get, on your birthday you have a chance to take namaskar. So on my birthday I will take a tulsi leaf and put it on his lotus feet. That year Swami had taken us to Kodaikanal. If it was in Perth, it is difficult. It will be, I would be on duty and I cannot take the birthday opportunity. So Swami had taken us to Kodaikanal, and my birthday happens to be during that period. And I thought, I have got the chance. I will look for the tulsi and then offer it at Swami's lotus feet. To my shock, I realized tulsi doesn't grow in Kodaikanal. I don't know, it was such a, that evening, I was in that prayer hall, just not able to control my tears. I'm just pacing like this up and down, and just tears are rolling because I didn't find the tulsi. And then, of course, I never mentioned that to him or anybody for that. It's, I think, the first time that I'm sharing that with anyone. That I think he knows, when is the right time. The next year, Swami was in Vrindavan, and I went for my birthday. I remember that morning, he comes for darshan from the ladies' side. He doesn't go to anyone, comes straight to me. No word spoken, stands, I offer, he blesses, moves on. कुछ बोलने का ज़रूरत नहीं है. He knows. And then somebody, the next day somebody comes and gives me a photograph of Swami blessing me. Those days cameras were not that many. So, like, he knows to take, never did I mention to anyone. I think this incident also first time I'm sharing with anyone. But he just knows the minutest thought. So never felt like asking him anything. Many times we would be sitting with him for hours together. People would be thinking, kya baat karte hain itna Swami? After the interviews are over, sometimes he would come at 2:30, and then interviews are over by 3:30, and he would sometimes call us, myself and another colleague or some other brother. We would be sitting there for 1 hour, 1.5 hours, Swami's feet, and then massaging his feet, and he would just be silent, we would be silent. Because whenever I used to get a thought, कुछ पूछना है, again some other, the answer used to come, पूछने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. Because the way it has been with me, like whenever I had a question, during my student days, that's the time you start questioning a lot. Whenever I used to have a question, when I come the next visit to Parthi, Swami's discourse, he would speak of that. I remember once, when I was in the engineering college and I was reading through, and they say the importance of satsang, good company. I was wondering, where will I find the satsang? You have put me here. Everybody is thinking something different. What is satsang? I was having that question again in my mind. That when I came to Parthi, Swami's discourse, Swami says, what is satsang? Sang with sat is satsang. Your company with truth is satsang. So the context may change, the explanations may change. But then when you have a question, he gives you the answer. Because when I look back today, like, was he training us for all this? Because the last few years of his life, he withdrew the physical interactions. But then, because of this training, I would say, never felt that he was not there. Nor do I feel it today. I think he trained us for that. He is always with us. That's the way he causes that internal cleansing or improvement, so that we offer ourselves at his lotus feet. Small things. How he would make sure that we do what he wants. One day, there were a group of ladies who had come from Bangalore. And darshan and interviews are over. They were sitting on the ladies' side. Swami called us inside, and he told me, just see if that group of ladies is there. Chudu vaallu unnara, aadavaallu. I just gave a second's gap. Sometimes Swami can be very tricky. Oh, lady side tum dekhta hai, bol dega. I was thinking what to answer. And to be like, whenever Swami gave us an instruction, we never waited for a fraction of a second. It's like a rocket taking off. Swami told, and we are off for the job. That day, that fraction of a second delay, strong retort came. Telugu Radha? Don't you understand Telugu? Of course, as soon as he said that, I went and checked, and then came back and told Swami, this group of ladies are there. And then Swami came out, gave them some saris. But then when I was thinking, 2 words, Telugu Radha, I started learning Telugu, even writing. I was conversant with speaking in Telugu, I used to understand. From that day, I started learning Telugu writing also. Because when I look back today, I think he could have told me something else also, no? He wanted that I should learn Telugu. So just 2 words, Telugu Radha, and I learned Telugu. Small, small things he would do, and that would change the way we look at life, look at things. How, okay, there is another experience that when you have asked that I should share. The way he has, this is also a very personal experience. When I was studying in the college, in the hostel, we used to go to the college every day in the morning. One fine day, when my habit was to do namaskar to the small Ganesha in front of the hostel. And as I bowed out to him, he says, "Why are you leaving me in the hostel?" I was shocked. I said, "Why don't you come?" I don't know, today also I wonder how did I get that courage to tell Ganesha. "Please come with me to the college." He said, "Yes." And then he started walking with me to the college. Most beautiful form of the Lord. I think today if you ask me details, I may not be able to tell. Because when you are in that blissful state, so many things you just don't register. If you have seen those darshan times, Swami comes and stands in front of you, he will ask you, "Kuch bhi nahi nikalta hai." You will have thought 100 things to ask. He will come and stand and look at you, sab gaya. It is something like that. Ganesha walked with me, or I walked with him, I don't know. We both went to the college. I had this habit of doing the namaskar in the hostel, and then college also we have a big Ganesha statue. So when I offered my pranams there, he merged into that. He said, "You go to your class, I'll be here." And then, after the classes got over, when it was the time to come back to the hostel for the lunch, he came again. I didn't speak much. When we see Ganesha, we know the stories of Ganesha. Those are the things I was thinking of asking. Before I was thinking of asking, he was telling me. As we reached hostel, he went into that small enclave and I said, "Why don't you come for lunch?" He said, No, I don't need any lunch. Your studies are enough for me. That's a lunch for me. You go in and have lunch. After lunch, for the afternoon class, when I started back, he accompanied again. This time I was prepared, I'll ask so many things. अब बोल दिया कुछ पूछने की ज़रूरत नहीं, अपना वाक सब साइलेंट होगा. He said, "No need to speak. We will walk this way." I was to the left of Ganesha, and as we were walking, so many vehicles were coming on the other side. I was afraid कुछ लग जाएगा आपको. See, we are as we are. So he said, "Just don't worry. It is only for you that I am seen and nobody else. Don't worry about that." Yes. When I look back, I feel, was he training me for the years which came later? The years when I don't think he needed any support. ब्रह्मांड को जो पकड़ता है उसको क्या, what does he need? But then he does all his drama, and then I feel he gives an opportunity for us to be with him. और उसके सिवा और कुछ नहीं है. Those are the days when Some days he would be just holding the hand for hours together and talking to somebody. I think he had given me the training from the hostel days. And as I said earlier, when we have to serve him, we have to be really blank. Then only we can register or listen to whatever he is saying. Those when Swami used to be going on the wheelchair also, people will wonder, वो direction change करने को कैसे पता चल गया आपको? It's by such a small indication he would give. Hardly would anybody register. But then if you are present, you know. And sometimes he takes it to the next level. Those days of 2000, 2001, 2002, Swami used to call lots of overseas devotees for interviews. And the typical would be Swami during the darshan, he would ask, how many? And they will tell their number, 10, 15, 20. And each of them, the best way to recognize their group was the scarf they would be wearing. So each group had his own scarf, color of the scarf. Typically, if Swami has called one person of that group, that person would go to the front and then wave his scarf, and everybody in that group would come for the interview. That was in the peak of that season. Those days, if you see the darshan, you will find every overseas devotee is having a scarf. There would be at least 10 to 15 groups or so. One day he completes the darshan round. At the portico, he says, call that group. In the scarf, there are 3 colors. There are so many groups with 3 colors. Well, when he gives you a task, he gives you the understanding to do that, I would say. I went to the devotees' side and picked up a group. Today, if you ask me, I can't tell you the logic. I picked up the right group. What I mean to say is, if tabhi those days of when we are in duty near him, kuch bhi nahi tha. Once he has come, bilkul blank. I think that's what he expects each one of us. Then we can get he's working through each one of us. He just wants us to be that hollow flute so that he can play through us. We just enjoy being that bamboo sheet. He plays the music. I think that is what is offering our Samarpan. You are in tune with him. You are listening to him. You are not questioning him. Because we, with our little minds, many times tend to question him. ऐसा क्यों किया, उससे क्यों बात किया, इससे क्यों नहीं बात किया, नहीं इसको तो स्वामी बुला नहीं सकते, बहुत गंदा आदमी है. Many types of things will come up because we have our own judgments. We think this is the best person, that is not a best person. When we have those things, I feel we are coming in his way. किसको कब कैसे बुलाना है, he knows. That's why if say for example, I am thinking that Swami should be calling only these people and not these people, and if Swami says to call somebody, that preconceived idea will come in the way of my performing the duty. With him, we should be always ready for surprises every moment. Sometimes he would call the person whom you had thought he would never call. And he would call very casually, usko bulao. he will tell, say for example, we all are sitting here, बाहर एक कोई गुंडा है, उसको बुलाओ, like as if he's his best friend. Because see, he is the one who knows अपना past, present and future. For him, the timeline is different. For him, what he's seeing is totally different. We have our small thoughts, concepts, ideas, और उसमें हमारा छोटा छोटा ईगो उठ जाता है. नो, आई नो थिंग्स, हमको मालूम है ये अच्छा है, ये बुरा है. Those are the things once in a while he does to tell us what he is seeing is something different, and our understanding, our knowledge is not what he is at. So when I think of Samarpan as an offering, I was just thinking what kind of an offering should we make? If you look at the way Swami has left his legacy with respect to the projects, of course, when I think of the word project, I feel each one of us is a project that Swami has taken up. Leave aside those bigger projects of water project or XYZ project. Each one of us is a project that he has taken up to transform or to take nearer to him. With respect to the physical projects, I was just thinking what kind of projects he has taken up. Being in the engineering section, this is something which comes to my mind. If he thought of giving water, he did the best of the project. He announced a project for 300 crores without having a paisa in the bank. What made him do that? And what is he? See, he has not come to do projects. Let us be clear about that. Avatar didn't come to do projects. I feel he has done each and everything just to show that कि ये हो सकता है, अच्छा काम हो सकता है. Wherever there is intention is pure, as Swami says, you will have no dearth of resources. If you have the good intention, source money will come. Because that's usual our mind, वो इतना बड़ा काम कैसे कर सकते हैं. He has done these projects to show us, if you have a good thought, your intention is right, all the help will come to you and it will be done. Just for example, the water project, 300 crores, no money in the bank, he started it. Money came. Not that things are very easy. It needs that commitment and that sacrifice too. He had to pledge the ashram to get the loan from the bank. He didn't hesitate for that. और खर्चा ज़्यादा है बोल के कहीं पे कटिंग नहीं किया. Gave the best of the pipes, get the best of the technology. Today, just because we give free education or free health care, none of the hospitals or colleges have anything second grade. The best of the machines come, the best of the facilities are given. When I see that, I realize हमको भी जब भी भगवान को कुछ ऑफर करना है, the one who is 100%, जब he's showing us कि हम, when we have to offer something, it has to be similar. No half-hearted things. How can I offer something which is not full, where I have not put my heart and soul fully? I won't say that each one of us will be a big painter or Hussein or somebody like that, but each one of us have that ability and that understanding and to give the best. जो भी हम करेंगे, let's say for example, it could be a small thing like gardening or cooking or reading, anything. Every act that I do, it should be an offering to Swami. And if I'm offering to Swami, it has to be the best that I know of, the best that I can do. No compromises on my effort to do an activity. Because after some time you realize, स्वामी का एक्टिविटी बोलने से भजन सत्संग यही है, सेवा है. After some time, every activity that we do is His. We wake up in the morning, we do our morning exercises or read something, or do whatever we do. When we are offering our day to Swami, every activity has to be the best. That is my understanding of Samarpan. Because when I think of the way Swami took up the projects, like say for example the housing project, nobody had thought of building houses for the people who had lost their houses in floods. Everybody makes big announcements, relief this many crores, X, Y, Z. When Swami announced the Orissa housing project, I just checked, nobody else had made a similar announcement or an effort. And once he made the announcement, he said he was fully committed for it. Swami sold his Kodaikanal property to fund the project. Determination, sacrifice. When we want to do good, we should be ready to that sacrifice. He sold one house and 1,000 people got houses. That's his level of commitment and sacrifice and determination, I would say. And when the houses which were constructed, they were pakka houses. वो sheet houses करके देना है. Typical, if you see the houses which are gifted, low cost house बना के sheet डाल के दे देते हैं. No, give the best. Instruction was, house శాశ్వతంగా ఉండాలి. It should be permanent. Just to give you an instance, one of the villages where the houses were constructed, 2 years subsequent to the floods, there were floods again. When the flood waters came in, they put all their luggages in the loft. Swami had instructed that every house should have a loft. All the luggages they put on the loft went to the terrace. Water receded, they came back. No damage. He knows, and small things he will say, oh, don't do the toilet touching the house. Rural areas, they don't like that. House and the toilet were separate. That's what we call it as sensitivity, or understanding people's needs. Who else than the one who is full of love and compassion, I would say. Small things, but they make a lot of difference. They make a lot of difference. Otherwise, taking up these projects, trying to complete them in those timelines is just impossible. Because of his constant involvement, commitment, and the motivation, everybody gets together and the thing gets done. Each project is an offering to, each one of us gets ready, we are working for it as an offering to Swami. That's the typical thing in hostel. Some program comes up, everybody is at their full spirit. Overnight things are done. When I joined the hostel, I was really surprised. कुछ भी नहीं था, ये शाम को सवेरे तक पूरा everything has come up. You see the big chariots, you see the big decorations. How that happens? Because of that commonality of purpose and that zeal of offering to Swami. I think that's what he wants us to extend to our everyday life. Everything that we do. Everything that we do has to be like that. I think the way he has done his projects when he was physically there, it continues. Even now, the same thing continues. None of the projects have reduced. Nothing has reduced. So sometimes just don't feel if he is not with us. Yes, we miss the physical frame, but he is always there. He is always with us. Just small things like now we are doing taking up some projects. We decided that all the asbestos in the ashram we replace because they have been old and they are not eco-friendly. So I was looking at various options, what we could use. And around a month back when Siddharth asked me, that's the time I got some information about few other alternatives. And I was thinking if I am going to Mumbai, I should look at these options if they are nearby, it will help me. Day before yesterday when I landed, on the way from the airport, I had told, there were few agencies who are in this field, and I told them that I am coming to Bombay and if there is something I would like to see. And that person calls me and she says, I said, tell me some locations where I could see. He says, we have done something in Satyasai Trust, Dharmakshetra. Like, I was getting goosebumps. Swami, like, kya hai? It's like, is everything, you have fixed everything, हमको सिर्फ जाना है. कुछ बोलने का ज़रूरत नहीं है, कुछ मांगने का ज़रूरत नहीं. You have planned everything. Because for which I was looking for and that installation was here. These are small things where he just shows you he is the one who is doing. He is the one who is always with us. He is the one who is taking care of us. Every moment. Every moment. Few months back, I was just thinking we need to spruce up the ashram. Ashram ka facilities thoda अच्छा करना है, especially with respect to those public toilets, how we make them good, so that whoever comes feels welcome in the ashram, feels at home. Anybody coming to the ashram should feel that it is his home. I was just thinking how we go about doing these things. You know, when you are at a setup which is this many years old, you have barriers to overcome, I would say, mental and physical. And that's the time one person lands up and he says, I have got a thought that I should do this. Because many years back, when he had come for darshan to Vrindavan, in Bangalore, Swami had visited a devotee's house, and when Swami asked him, where did you come from? He said, London. Swami said, toilet. He didn't understand the meaning of that. Then previous visit, last November when he had visited ashram, he saw few of these toilets and occurred to him, I think the message that Swami had told him then was to do this. And then he came and met and he said, I would like to take up this. And today we have got already 2-3 blocks done with his active involvement, I would say. So this again gives that confirmation he is the one who is doing. Sometimes only I feel that we should not become an obstacle in his path. भगवान काम करते रहेंगे, we should not become an obstacle in his way of his spreading his message of love and service. Because in our own ways of कुछ भी करेंगे, कुछ ego is something, somewhere it comes off. बहुत ही careful रहना है. Because one thing which one quotation of Swami which has always inspired me: make your life a rose that speaks silently in the language of fragrance. That I feel is the essence of Samarpan. We live our lives in a way that he feels happy about us. Well, I don't know whether I can use the word proud. Yes, he will be proud when we live our lives that the way that he expects each one of us to live. I will give a pause here because I have shared my thoughts with you all. I would love to hear from you if you have something to share with me relating to these things that I have mentioned, or if you'd like to ask me something. The whole, yes, please. He continued to walk. This was, I don't know, this was such a personal experience. Many people subsequently asked me, I never felt like expressing it. And they always ask me, did you check with Swami? I never felt the need to check with Swami because the way it has been, the way he has, I would say, trained me, it is always a silent training. That's why I don't speak much. But yes, I think today he decided that I should speak something. Talking about, yeah, if you have something, or I'll narrate another instance that comes to my mind. The incident I told you about the bag. Relating to the bag, there is another incident. That is the only time I would say he was unhappy with me or he fired me, whatever. It was in the year 99. And those days, there used to be security guards going with Swami when Swami went for darshan. There were two of them. And Swami had just given us the opportunity of doing the service. And those days, Swami used to give Pad Namaskar to Sevadal. That was a big, big opportunity for people. After every Sevadal batch finished their service, Swami used to give them Pad Namaskar and Vibhuti. Sometimes, well, when I think of that, it really just, it's such a, I would say physically, it's really a tiring exercise. Going through rows of people, everybody trying to hold your feet. Repeatedly, he would be telling, please be seated. But when he went through that exercise of, physically, if you say it as an exercise, you never saw that tiredness on his face or any frown, anything. It just says like the love that he is. Like if when you think of his projects or anything, it is that love, that oneness that he feels with each one of us. Otherwise, you just think, why should he take up a water project where 700 villages are covered when nobody has asked for water? But he did it because he felt that oneness with. That's what he, I think, teaches us to feel the other person's pains as if they are your own. Well, coming back to that day of Pad Namaskar. So he finished the ladies' side and then came to the gents' side. He was moving through the rows, and myself and my colleague Nitin, we were distributing the Swami's photo and Vibhuti packets as Swami moved from one row to the other. That day, he made the same indication. He was looking at me few times and telling like this. And then I went and got another packed bag of Vibhuti. He finished another round, third row, again he said like, so I went and got another bag of Vibhuti. This time I have failed, this is my failure day. So he completed the darshan round, went inside. Then he calls me in. There is another elderly devotee there. He starts, I would say, firing. Buddhi ledu, siggu ledu, you don't understand. See, Swami, when you don't get the point, he will up the ante, like typical speakers do. Until you clap, they will raise their voice. So he was going on firing, and I would say, trying to understand kya ho raha hai. Where did I do mistake? No clue at all. This happened before to that Sivaratri incident, So that time I was not fully prepared, I would say. Or he had not got me ready, whatever it is. So, at the end, last comes Daivadroham. You can't bear it. You're betraying God. What to tell? He's sitting at the chair and the elderly gentleman is there. I'm at the door, just wishing if I could go out of the door. You are not able to take the rapid fire. Head is down, just crying. Kya ho raha hai? And then I take a little courage and look at his face. He's smiling. What he meant is those days when Swami used to come for the darshan, Swami used to collect a lot of letters. When I speak of this also, I wonder if any of you have made an analysis how he holds those letters. Try out physically, it is really difficult. The volume of letters that he would hold in his single hand. And he used to give this bunch of letters to somebody to hold when it becomes more. And those days he used to give it to that police, the security person. They were also used to be in whites. Unless somebody knew, they will think that they were also students. But he was giving one of those police security persons. So he wanted that I should get a polythene bag and take the letters from him and hold. I said, तुमको बोला बैग लेके लेटर रखना है. Because the other gentleman was Hindi. He didn't know Telugu, so Swami was speaking to me in Hindi. Now when he fires, he'll have a witness to add to the... Well, I was never lucky to get the firing in the real sense, because I told you he gave a nice smile. But otherwise, he's a tough master. When he decides to fire somebody, he will have it. And from then on, never missed to carry a polythene bag in the pocket to receive letters from his hand. Those are the beautiful ways of his training us, I would say, to be present, to be present in his presence. Because very often we are present but not present. We go to the mandir, mind is somewhere else. We are doing something, mind is somewhere else. When we are not present, either we don't get the full benefit of the place, or we don't get the full benefit of what Swami is saying. When Swami is speaking, sometimes our mind has gone somewhere. It happens. So his training or his effort, I would say, is to make each one of us to be present fully. Because when we increase our degree of presence, I would say, he would give the next lessons. It becomes easier for him to take us to the next level of coaching, I would say. He's a coach for each and every one of us, coaching and guiding us every day. He's like a super parent. सब कुछ बताता है, करता है. At the end, he will tell you only did it. He will not take the credit. I remember when I didn't have a BCom background. From my engineering, went into management, and first work I was assigned was audit. If any of you are conversant with the terms of commerce, there are words like journal vouchers, impressed. To me, they were like, kya hai? And I was supposed to be auditing. Well, that is very typical of Swami. बायोसाइंस वालों से फिज़िक्स का काम करवाएंगे और इंजीनियर से ऑडिटिंग करवाएंगे, जस्ट टू से दैट व्हेन हिज ग्रेस इज देयर कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. वी आर, आई थिंक द फर्स्ट बैरियर विच इज कट with when you offer yourself to God, be ready to do whatever He says. And once you do that, he makes you go through all types of, सब काम करवा देंगे आपसे. Yes, today as he said, no, I was just wondering, ऑडिट से चालू करके वो HR चालू करके प्रोजेक्ट चालू करके कहाँ होके अब इंजीनियरिंग देख रहे हैं हम. And when I look back, oh, was it this reason that you didn't allow me to come after 12th to Parthi? Oh, you wanted me to become an engineer so that I could do this job? Then you feel, oh, Swami, it is okay. If you wanted it that way, I am happy. But then when I was going through that process, I would have not been happy with Swami. Let me put it this way. Because those days I remember, I used to come to Parthi, and invariably my darshan ticket will be after 10. Those 4-5 years, कभी भी ticket one serial number कभी नहीं आया. I don't know if there are newer devotees, they may not understand this, because when you go for darshan, there is a token system, and कुछ भी हो जाए, once you have come to him, you are his. He will never let go of you. And he will do only that which is good for you. Nothing else. He will not compromise on that. Because he is the one who has that infinite love. We may not understand, but he works from that plane. Kuch bhi ho, what is good for us, only that he will have do. And it is good for us that we accept and go with him. Then there is the joy. That's the joy of life. And then I think that's the joy of life, and that's the feeling of Samarpan. Allow yourself so that he works through you. Thank you.